for years and years and years.
I was in a meeting where they were talking about who it had affected the worst for reading skills, and it was the first and second graders who just went up because the kindergartners were fined.
Yep.
They were just like,
because they're still elastic.
Right.
Those kindergartners. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting because my first grader has been, my weakest reader. There aren't any issues, but, and so to have that is interesting.
Yeah. Hi, Sandy.
Hi. Finally got it figured out.
Yay.
Yay. For sure.
Hi, Jason.
Hello.
My youngest daughter is teaching. It's her first year of teaching kindergarten this year.
Wow.
So, yeah. So
well, she'll probably be like, I have no expectations.
Exactly. She knows. Yeah. Yeah. She's doing, other than mask wearing.
Yeah.
It's been good, but
good.
We'll all be glad to get rid of those.
Oh, I know. That's so true.
I feel lost without one these days, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I think I had to put some makeup on
without one, but being anywhere around people without having a mask on just frightens me.
Yeah, it is. It's weird, isn't it? Like,
I feel like a rebel when I walk out of a place and I take the mask off before I get to my car. Like,
yeah.
Oh, look at that guy. He's crazy.
Waiting for the mask police.
Well, I'm not around anyone.
Yeah.
But when you're out in the parking lot and you're 15 feet from your car and you take your mask off before you get in, it's like people look at you like, whoa. I'm like, you're 50 yards away. Like I can barely tell you're a person. So,
Yeah.
It's like the strangeness of seeing a face. It's
like, that's what it is.
Your attention. Yeah.
So. I haven't been chewed out yet, but I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for someone to come and tell me that I'm not socially responsible.
If you're in the post office without a mask, I will tell you that.
Yeah. I was at the post office and had someone come up behind me. They didn't stand back 6 feet or have a mask on. I was like, what? Are you're aware there's a pandemic, right? There's like this thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it looks like 1, 2.
By the way,
6. I think we have enough people. Hi, Heidi. Oh. Welcome, Michelle.
Good to be here.
Hi. Great to have you. Yeah, we can go ahead and get started. I think. Great. Yeah, we have enough people.
Perfect. Well, welcome to the board meeting for the American Fork Library. Let's see, February 17th, 2021. So this is going to be a shortened meeting. We have some training that we're going to be attending here in about 15 minutes. So we'll try and make this quick. Did we have any public comment items?
Nope.
Okay. Should we welcome our new members?
Yeah.
Officially, do we have a hazing, or is it like a swearing in ceremony, or what is it that we?
What do they do for us, Jason? Come on.
I have to read 50 books in a month.
There you go.
Ooh, nice. I like that. We have a reading requirement. That's what it is.
Yeah. So. As long as it's children's lit, we're good.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to both of you. We, obviously Heidi adds her experience already on the board, and Sandy brings experience in many other ways. And of course, we couldn't say no. I think it was a unanimous decision to bring you both on to increase the size of our board, and we really appreciate your excitement and your willingness to help us and the library. So welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone has anything else they want to say? Feel free. So.
Well, eventually they will ask you for a bio to be read into the city council where it's official. I'm still waiting to hear on the date for that, but you're welcome to join us until then anyway. So.
Okay, thanks.
Perfect. All right, well, we had a couple of items we needed to discuss and vote on, and Cassandra sent those out. Has everyone had a chance to review those?
Yeah.
Do you want to summarize, Cassandra, and then we can see if there's any discussion about it?
So yeah, we talked about in the things that we need to vote on. We were approached by the Alpine School District to see if we would do a teacher card for teachers in America who teach in American Fork. That's one. The other ones are about fees. We're looking to eliminate late fees for a trial period of a year. And so I would like to also eliminate processing fees so that it's when somebody gets charged the lost fee for their book that they didn't turn in, it makes it a lot simpler to just not have a processing fee. Also, we tack on a little bit more than we pay because we charge them the full retail value of the book anyway. And then the other item is when we're going to send a book to lost. And so I hope it made sense when I followed up and said that if we go down from the automatic renewals that we have, it will affect our circulation numbers, which always looks bad. It looks like something bad happened. So I'd rather keep it where it is and then send it to lost after that. And my staff proposed 28 days later. So I just wanted to, put that up for a vote. And if you guys do you have any questions?
Yeah, I've got a couple. So the $5 processing fee, so that goes into the general fund, which is used for, tell me that.
That is used for the city budget.
Okay, so it does take time for an employee or a volunteer to process the loss, right, and to order the new item. What does that come out to in actual time for someone to do that? Is it a 10-minute process? Is it something that takes 30 minutes? I mean, obviously, if it's a paid employee, there's a cost associated with the actual processing of a lost item.
Right. So, okay. So this will get a little bit into the nitty gritty of how that happens.
Okay.
So if somebody loses a book, and they pay for it, the person in charge of buying books for that section will decide if they want to replace it or not. There are times when it's not worth it, or when it's out of print, or it just hasn't been circulating a lot. So basically, if they do choose to replace it, it comes in the box of all the new books, and it just gets put with all the rest of the processing, stack. And it probably takes 5 to 15 minutes to do a book.
Got it.
You've got lamination and stickers, things like that.
Right.
So there are expenses beyond the purchase of the book. But
Right.
you're saying mostly it just gets lumped in the bucket with other new books.
Yeah.
And as you pointed out, the cost to the patron versus the cost that we're actually paying to replace it, there's a I guess not necessarily a profit, but there's a surplus as a result of that, right?
Yeah.
But they are paying the price of the book, right?
Right. So if a book is on Amazon for $29.99 as its retail value, we buy it through a special library source, and they will charge us 60% of that cost. So we're paying whatever that is, $24. I'm not great at math, maybe like $18 or something. And then, but then we charge the full $30 for them when they lose it.
So as far as it going into the city bucket, that's kind of a way of looking at things.
Sure.
So as the library looks at it, whatever money we raise goes into the city budget and then is deeded back to us at budget time as our library budget. And there's not a one-to-one correspondence. But as the city council looks at it and as the taxpayer looks at it, we're saying we are raising money to offset our operating expenses, some of them that way. So I can see that there's justice in having a processing fee. But if we're doing away with overdues and other library fines altogether, then that argument is weakening.
Right. It's kind of along the lines of like the teaching them a lesson way of doing it in the past, and we're trying to kind of steer away from that and make it so it isn't cost prohibitive to use the library. And so because the patron will be getting a lost fee instead of a late fee, and that will of course go away once it's returned, it's more alarming the higher it is. So that's my thinking.
I'm curious about you said this is for items that are $10 and above, right? There was something I read about that. If it's an item that's value is less than $10, do we charge them the replacement fee?
We do, but the difference is that our threshold for when they are blocked from being able to use their card is $10.
So they'll still have to replace it, but we won't block them from checking out other items. If
Right,
it's
as long as
under
it's under $10, right? And that can be changed too.
Okay.
So the proposal is cost of the book plus a processing fee.
My proposal is cost of the book without the processing fee, to keep the cost down, but also to save us time, because once the book is returned, they're charged. Oh, sorry. Once the book is deemed lost, they're charged the fee of the replacement. It adds a processing fee, and then when they return it, we have to go in by hand and take off that processing fee. So it's also time that it would save.
Yeah. I'm willing to let go of the processing fee.
Yeah, I think along the lines of, removing that late fee to remove that barrier for a lot of our patrons, the costs associated with that makes, I think it's in alignment with the decisions we've already made. So I guess we need to vote on these items separately, right? So Shannon, did you have?
I move that we eliminate the late fees and the processing fees. Is that, you put those together, didn't you?
I think we already did the late fee as a temporary trial, right? So this will just be the processing fee. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we'll take a vote in favor of removing the processing fee.
Aye.
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 Aye. Great. The motion passes. So we will remove the processing fee. The next was the, let's see. Did we need to do the time on the considered lost? Is that something we need to vote on, that changing to that to 28 days?
Yes, since that will be a policy change, I just need you guys to approve it. And if you have any questions about that, feel free.
And what is it currently?
So currently it's 60 days after so once it's been renewed the last time, then when it hits overdue, it goes 60 days and then is sent to lost.
Okay.
And if we just want to shrink that down a little bit, because if we're getting rid of fees, just as a reminder,
Sure.
turn it in.
But we're still going to keep it as three renewals. Originally, you had talked about 2. Then after the further discussion, it was with your staff, it was recommended that we keep it at 3, and we adjust the lost date to 28 days after that last due date.
Right, and 28 days is one more checkout period. That's where we came up with that.
Yeah.
So do I have a motion to adjust that to 28 days for the lost?
So moved.
Mission? Okay, a second.
Seconded.
Hey, let's vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Item considered lost after 28 days from last due date. The last item, the teacher library cards for teachers who work in American Fork but do not live in American Fork. Any questions about that or comment from anybody?
I have something I'd like to bring up here.
Yeah.
Yes, we want them using our library. No, we don't want to charge them. We need them here as a courtesy. However, I'm remembering when we had Sam Beeson sitting on our library board. Do you all know who Sam Beeson is? I know Michelle remembers.
Yeah.
That was such a wonderful thing to have a liaison from the high school. And there were some really good connections that happened when he was here. He was bringing his students to the library for his programs, and we had communication with them. And, I'd like to be able to say to the teachers, what are you teaching from this year? Do we have enough copies of that book in our library to support the parents who want to read along? Things like that. And I'm wondering, can we somehow open up a relationship with one of the high school teachers to do that?
Yes, I think that's an excellent idea. I've got my teen librarian has had a lot of success with the high school English teachers, but we have not had success with the junior high. And actually, Shannon made a proposal about that.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon, do you want to talk about that?
I said either Sandy or I would probably be interested in doing it, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
Right. You talked about maybe just visiting the junior high and making those connections with those teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And we just need somebody with their foot in the door, because
This could be a great introduction, right? I mean, if we cast this, to have Sandy or Shannon, set up some time with the teachers at that school whenever they have their meetings of some kind, of make that announcement that we're opening that up to them, and then establish some of those relationships. So I think
it would be good if we contacted the librarians at those schools first. Absolutely. And then, reached out to those teachers that seemed most interested or most open to suggest, those kinds of suggestions, because, generally the librarians will know, especially what the English teachers are doing. So yeah, I think that would be great.
What if once a year we show up at their staff meeting with a deck of blank library cards?
Yeah. That would be good. My question is, what if we give teachers who are teaching American Fork, teachers get transferred sometimes? We just let them keep the card, right? We don't have to worry about, sorry, You're not in American Fork anymore, so give us back your card.
Right. I mean, I think that's a good question. We do have I think it's a 5-year limit on a typical card. I can double check that. So at that point, they would need to come back in and show us,
right.
District
So
ID.
can you set up the database that flags them as a teacher?
So what we can do is go into our system, and we have different designations for different types of cards, like a non-resident or a co-op card, and we would just have another designation for teacher.
I think that would be great.
Co-op
I
with
think it's a great
most
idea.
cities in northern Utah County.
Yeah. Yes. So the co-op is Lehigh, Highland, us, PG, and Eagle Mountain.
Okay.
So the proposal then is that we allow teachers at at schools here in American Fork that are not citizens to have library cards as long as they remain teachers in American Fork, or until their card expires after they're no longer teachers in American Fork. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay, so do I have a motion for that?
I'll move.
And a second?
I'll second.
Great. Those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
I don't think there were any opposed, so great.
Great.
Motion passes. We'll go ahead and do that. We are a little short on time. We've got to hop into this training. Do we need to have a motion and a vote to close? Is that standard?
Yeah.
Okay, do I have a motion to close the meeting? All right,
I'll move adjournment.
a second.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I accept. How do I
Aye.
get to another Zoom meeting now?
Okay, so you're just going to leave and then click on the other link.
Okay.
Okay, I'll see you guys there.